Sorry about that. Again, another technical issue. We've got glitches happening regularly at the moment. I think YouTube are updating the app and the stream struggles sometimes. Please make sure you subscribe to comment and we will keep coming back the whole time, don't worry. Guys, disclaimers again. Our first disclaimer is that we're not here to cause alarm, harassment or distress or any form of intimidation. We're here under our right to freedom of speech and our public assembly in a public space. We're also here not to clash with non-vegans and point fingers and say you're a bad person. If you're not vegan, we're here today to bring you the truth, come alongside you and show you what the industry are lying to you about. The industry behind me, it literally relies off of secrecy, and we're here today to force the transparency. Subscribe to put 1 in the chat if you're already vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to the conversation around being vegan or you like animals. And subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan, if you don't like animals, if you think that animals are here for you to exploit in any which way you see fit. We are here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Please go into the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, click on the top link, that is Animal Aid's investigation link, and go and see Animal Aid's investigations that have been taking place at slaughterhouses and various locations that exploit animals all over the UK. You'll be absolutely shocked at what you see and find. Also go to animalaid.org.uk and please sign up to the Vegan Pledge. Please look at their other investigations and campaigns. They've got a big one at the moment where they're going to be pushing the ban of greyhound racing. So please get behind them and support them. They do amazing work for the animals. We're here today to bring you nothing more than the truth. The industry pay billions and billions and billions of dollars to lie to you. We come here today with 1 camera, 1 live stream. Subscribe, and 1 if you're a vegan already. Subscribe, and 2 if you're a kind person who's literally just intrigued as to what we might be here. Subscribe, and 3 if you are anti-vegan, if you like to bully and be violent towards animals. Please double tap the live stream. We need 50 likes. We were on nearly 150 likes before the stream glitched out. Animals will be coming here today. We need 50 likes before the next truck comes. I would imagine the next truck will be coming in the next 6-7 minutes, somewhere around there. This slaughterhouse here executes cows, dairy cows from the dairy industry, beef cows from the meat industry. 2 different breeds of cows. One has babies taken away from her, has her breast milk stolen, and she's executed when she can no longer keep up a profitable amount of breast milk. And the others are executed at around 18 months for their bodies to be put into steaks, burgers and pies and things like that. Every single one of them animals that comes past us today has a desire to live. They're all sentient beings. They're all having a subjective experience of their own life. They have the ability to feel pain. They suffer. They have families. They have friends. They have the desire to live, and that's what's mostly important. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you are vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're a kind person but you're not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you like to bully animals, if you think it's okay to be violent towards the vulnerable animals, and you think that animals can be exploited in any which way that you see fit. Please double tap the live stream and keep putting them 1s, 2s and 3s in the chat, but you have to subscribe to put the chat down. We're trying to clean up all of the silly nonsense that you see in the chat. So subscribe to chat, put your questions in the chat. We will be going through questions as well. We're not just here to stand and shout at you,
another truck
but
coming
we're
out
here to tell you what happens.
Mind just have watch, guys.
Small holding trucks.
Small holders are the ones who try and run us over the most.
Yeah.
So
small holding truck.
You've got to be really careful of
Take
these.
note, small holding farmers and factory farmers, same slaughterhouse. We'll come back to this in a second. Absolute injustice, absolutely horrific. How do you sleep at night doing that to them animals? How does it make you feel when you see them go into that layerage to die? What's your emotions? You don't have a heart? Nothing.
Shameful.
Nothing. Silence, as always. Any animal farmer, silent, because the minute they start talking, even if they start putting the dairy industry on a pedestal and trying to make it sound good, it sounds like the most horrific, violent exploitation you can ever imagine. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan, if you believe that animals could be exploited, bullied and hurt just because you want to, because of taste pleasure. Make sure you've double tapped the stream. For the subjects of the live stream right now, I can hear cows bellowing and crying from the layerage. The layerage is a big holding room as they're waited to be taken through to the kill floor, to be bolt gunned in the face, hung up by 1 leg and have their throats slashed open. They will die watching blood pump out their neck with their family and friends all around them waiting to be next on the line. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan and you've already removed your personal accountability for this violence. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you are not vegan yet but you're a kind person, you're open to what we're doing here today. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the live stream. We're here with Animal Aid. Go into the link in the description and go and see Animal Aid's investigations. Is there more coming? No. Now, I said to you a minute ago, I want you to take note that there's factory farm trucks and small holding trucks, because a lot of people say, yeah, factory farming's really bad. I don't support big industrial farming. Factory farming's terrible. I want you to know that we are not here for the welfare of animals on farms. I want you to note that there are factory farm trucks and small holding trucks at the same slaughterhouse. Subscribe and 1 for vegan, subscribe and 2 for not vegan but a kind person, subscribe and 3 for anti-vegan troll. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and share this on your socials. Now, anyone who thinks that small holding farmers are okay, when they bring them here and drop them off, their cows get put right next to the factory farm cows. They all go through to the same kill floor. It's the same person, same knife, same gas, same kill floor that they all face. This isn't a welfare issue, this is a rights violation. It doesn't matter. Animals should not be viewed as products. They should not be viewed as commodities. They should be viewed as the individuals that they are. They are here with us, not for us. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded and you're a kind person. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the live stream. Please share it on your socials and subscribe to chat. Make sure you've gone into the description, you've clicked the link, and you've seen all the animal aid investigations.
We're on 31 likes. Let's get to 50 before the next truck comes.
Yeah,
the
next trucks are coming.
Helps.
So many trucks have come out. They come in waves. You come to these places enough, you start to understand what's going on.
Vegan Chloe, thank you so much for being here. They put animals are not ours to use.
Absolutely.
Exactly that. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, 100%. It sounds so simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Animals are not asked to use. Well, yeah, absolutely. The same as people with blonde hair aren't asked to use. The people with different colour skin aren't here for us to use. They're all individuals. Just because they look different to you doesn't mean that it's okay to exploit them and take everything from them. Who do we think we are with what we do to animals? It's ridiculous.
Mr. Ball Guy put, but it's the food chain.
Doesn't matter. You can put humans at the top, you can put animals underneath humans, and you can put plants underneath the animals. It's still causing the least amount of harm to eat the plants, therefore it's the most ethical and more moral. It's not always the food chain. Put you in the situation with a lion. If you were sit there and you had a lion, you, and some alternative food, some lab-grown meat for the lion, would you be saying, nah, it's more natural for him to eat me. Yeah, actually, no, just come and eat me, Mr. Lion. Or would you say, actually, we've got an alternative here. Let's give the lion the lab-grown meat, then I don't get killed and eaten, the lion gets fed, and everyone's okay. This is all that it is. You have a vegan option to stop the violence that's happening to these innocent childlike beings. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person wondering why vegans are outside of the slaughterhouse live streaming to you live today. And subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan troll.
Aquatic Hall put, I'm in the military, so I was wondering how you expect us to keep our caloric intake up by being vegan when we consume 3 times as much compared to regular civilian.
Yeah, well, that's easy. And actually, the who was it in the middle? It was the Green Gazelles. The Green Gazelle rugby team here in the UK is 80% of that rugby team is vegan. And if you go to the Green Gazelles website, a lot of them are in the military as well. And you can now get vegan field packs. So calories in, calories out. Some of the most calorific dense foods like nuts and other fatty foods are much more calorie dense and high in calories. So there's no excuse, whether you're in the military, whether you're a triathlete, whether you are a CrossFit athlete, whether you're a marathon runner, whether you're a power lifter, whatever you do, you can do vegan. So there's no excuse to continue to oppress and exploit animals.
Yeah, I mean,
it's absolutely the moral baseline.
Lifting weights, like
yeah,
you need
no one lifts as much as I do in our gym. So. Yeah. Like, it's absolute nonsense. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you are vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. If you think that hurting animals who can't defend themselves is okay.
We've got 46 likes. Keep pushing the like button because that's what gets the views. Steve, why did you go vegan?
I went vegan because I saw inside of a slaughterhouse. I was watching an amazing activist called Joey Carbstrong. Go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And I was listening to him debate the dairy industry with someone. And I think this guy is really talking sense. I couldn't argue with all the points he was saying about the dairy industry. And then what happened next, couldn't believe. I'll tell you after this. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the stream. All of a sudden, I was listening to what he was saying about the dairy industry, and then I saw the dairy industry for what it was. Yeah. I saw a mother cow in the dairy industry having her throat slashed open. I saw her inside of a nut box, inside of a kill floor, very similar to what is behind me. And as I saw her live draining from her eyes, I thought I am no longer going to be responsible for that violence towards these innocent animals. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. You have to subscribe to chat and make sure you've double tapped the live stream. stream. The animals will be coming here any minute. We've got so many trucks leaving. I believe that there is one factory farm truck waiting to come out as well. So lots of animals gone in today, but even more coming any minute now.
Guys, I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. We're here in collaboration today with Animal Aid, who've done investigations here. Go and have a look at their website on our link in the description. Go and have a look at the investigations. They've done all sorts of slaughterhouses, halal, sheep, all sorts. You won't know the difference between halal and standard, by the way. So most people are against halal, like the smallholding farmer that came out earlier. Well, it's not a halal one. It's no different. It's no different. It's still taking away someone's life. It's still removing their bodily autonomy from them. It's taking their right to their own life. If that was that farmer in there crying for his life, as I can hear those dairy cows crying for their life right now, he would beg us for mercy. Subscribe at the top of this live and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe at the top of this live and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe at the top of this live and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream. Keep liking the live. When these likes get to 100 likes, I'm going to tell you something that you have never heard before.
People are saying that animals eat other animals.
They do eat other animals. A small percentage of animals do eat other animals, but that is not justification for you to take their survival situation and put it in Tesco's. You're a human. You have choices. When we can choose kindness, why would we choose violence towards somebody else? Just like the people who had a plane crash in the Andes. Oh, humans eat other people because they had to eat people to survive in that situation. You're not then going to start killing people in public and in a civilized society because that's what they had to do then. No, you end that there. That's survival situations. You're not in that survival situation. Think with your brain, use your heart, watch Dominion on YouTube, go and subscribe to Joey Carbstrong right now. He's about to drop a massive investigation, so make sure you're there to see that and witness that. The animals need your eyes on what they go through so then you change. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe at the top of this live, and then put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan.
Killraid put if everyone became vegan, we'd have to kill and deforest most of the world to feed humans. Something about eradicate many animals. That's worse than eating meat. Okay,
thank you so much for your statement. That is false. I'd like to think that you're asking that more as a question because you're completely wrong. The majority of crops are fed to animals. There's 90 billion or 2 trillion animals, including marine life, that are forced into existence every single year that eat plants. So this many, there's only 9 billion people on the planet. If we didn't have animal agriculture and that was removed, you'd free up 75% of the world's farmland so we could feed the world over and over. The main cause of deforestation is animal agriculture. The main cause of climate change is animal agriculture. The main cause of ocean dead zones is animal agriculture. The main cause of animal extinction is animal agriculture, okay? So before you start spouting the misinformation, go and have a look for yourself. It's not your fault that you don't know though, guys. Please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream right now and please go and look at the link in the description so you can see why we're here. We're here in collaboration today with Animal Aid, who've done investigations on this place and investigations on slaughterhouses all around the world. How do these people work here? How do they sleep at night, hearing those cries all the time? You've got access to CCTV, right? Go and have a look at the CCTV on the kill floor. Maybe you'd never step foot in this place again. How could you go home to your family and friends and say, yep, I've worked all day in a facility that kills animals? It's the weakest form of human who can do this.
What did you see earlier?
I saw cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry chucked into a small trailer, a small holding farmer. I touched the nose of that individual, even though those animals have been exploited, have babies taken away from them. They're sentenced inside here to be killed, and they're still gentle towards me. And it's our human species that have commodified them, enslaved them. Absolutely vile, disgusting. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. This is a slave truck coming out right now that had animals on today who had now been led into this place. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? How could you? Shame on you. How could you do this? How could you do this? The world will look back on what they do and they'll be like, how could they? How could any of our species do this to them? They are nothing like me. I have a heart, they don't have a heart. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Have you ever touched the nose of someone who's about to be stabbed in the throat? Have you ever done that? Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone looking back at you, hoping for help, for mercy? crying out for their life. Have you ever stood and witnessed that? Where you could do nothing because people are chained by the wrong legal system right now. If I went in there to save them, I'd be arrested. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, comment and share. How many likes we got in here?
79 at the moment.
Once we get to 100 likes in this live stream, I'm going to be telling you something that you'll never hear anywhere else. Something that the industry wants to hide from you. Please keep liking the live stream, keep commenting. We're going to be answering questions. I'm here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. I'm here because I saw inside a slaughterhouse. I wasn't always vegan. For 26 years of my life, I used to pay for these evil places to exist, but I didn't know. I didn't understand that by my choices, my purchases, whether that's for the number truck. I can't stand this. I can't stand that they keep coming in. I can't stand that animals are being oppressed. This is the truck we saw earlier, Steve, leave.
Yeah.
Shameful. Illegal driving. Illegal to drive and do that.
We'll report that to the police.
I'm sorry, babies. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We'll report him to the police for using his phone while driving.
I'm so sorry for what our species have done. I'm so sorry. He's yeah, but I need to speak to you. No, listen first. No, you listen first. He's driving on his phone. He's driving on his phone. He's driving on his phone, you absolute lunatics. Look, me move back, but they don't give a crap about what's happening to those animals. Absolute lunatics who can work in these places. It's evil. Do not be like these people. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded, but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share, and comment. Keep liking this live, because when we get to 100 likes, I'm going to be telling you something that you don't know.
It may already be over 100 likes. Yeah, it's already over 100.
Okay, guys, so the thing I'm going to tell you. By the way, I just want to let you know that what just happened there, a truck came in from here. Should we go? Yeah?
No, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Do you want to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Yeah,
let's do that first. Stay on this live stream. I will tell you. We're just going to do something first, see if we can capture it. You got it?
Yeah, you got it?
Got it, yeah. Guys, stay on this live stream. We're just about to show you something.
Okay.
It's going to show you the unloading
Just
through
here,
here.
just here.
I'm going to show you the unloading. See if I can find a gap in the fence. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet.
Wasn't it here?
Have a look, see if you can find any holes. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Yeah, we might have to hold it up.
Yeah, I can't see.
Yeah, let me hold my phone. Okay, so up and to the left. Yeah, guys, this is where you can see the unloading of these dear animals. This person who was committing a criminal act, by the way, just then, on his phone, driving and recording. You're perfect. Guys, subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Should we zoom?
Yeah.
Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, comment and share. Go into the link in the description, see the investigations that have happened on this place by Animal Aid themselves. Up more.
It's got a delay on it.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect there. There, so these are cows being unloaded off into this evil place right now as we speak. Poor individuals who didn't do anything wrong, did nothing wrong, but was born into a body that looks different from yours. That's their only crime, and they're treated like criminals. They're treated like the worst criminals. Innocent childlike beings treated like the worst kind of criminals. Dairy cows and beef cows likely, that's who they kill here, dairy cows and beef cows. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see them. I'm not sure if they come off already.
Go back around the front.
Yeah, in case more animals come. Guys, please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Keep liking this live. I'm going to be telling you something that the industry never want you to know in just a moment, because we're over 100 likes. Let's get to 150 likes as soon as possible, because that's what helps the algorithm. That's what helps people see the animals, because when the algorithm is pushed out, more people see the animals, therefore more people go vegan. This is an industry that is so hidden from you. They don't want you to know that this happens. Absolutely evil place. Evil place. It's an injustice. It's unjust what they do here. There's no necessity to kill animals, harm animals. Therefore, there's lack of justification.
Okay.
Just gonna switch back in with Steve, 1 sec.
Stop back in.
Yeah, guys, keep subscribing to comment in this live stream.
Okay. Okay, guys, yeah, right, we're back. Okay, subscribe 1 if you're vegan, subscribe 2 if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations, and subscribe 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the live stream, like, share, subscribe. We're here today to bring you the truth. We're working hard to show you the reality that you can see the industry tried to hide from you. You can see how hard they work, the security, the secrecy, they're rushing the trucks in. As you go around the side, they've got all the barriers up. They don't want you to see the animals as they're getting loaded off. They don't want you to see the animals as they're coming in. Why don't they want you to see the animals? Now, bear in mind, the only stage you're going to see the animals at right now is in the trucks as they come around the corner. You'll see their eyes, ears, and noses. That's all you're going to see. But the industry don't want you to see that. Why? Because when people have compassion, see animals, witnessing the animals just before they're about to die, they connect, they feel empathy for them. If you become empathetic towards cows, chickens, pigs, sheep, etc., you then won't want to pay for the exploitation and murder of them. You then go vegan and they then lose profit. And this is all this is. This is just a business. It's here for profit. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan. Be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream.
121 likes, guys. Let's get to 150 likes.
Oh, God, man, this place absolutely stinks. I want to just reiterate again that we're not here today to clash with any non-vegans. We're here to come alongside you and turn your head against this industry. Yeah. Go and watch Jerry Armstrong's investigations. Go into the description, click the link and go and see Animal Aid's investigations. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube. Go and sign up onto our other YouTube channel. Go into our link tree and go and click on links on Help to Go Vegan by John the Bodybuilding Vegan and the Vegan Squad. Go and get that help, because when you know why you should be vegan, all the hows are easy to answer, but the why is what you need to know first of all. Any questions in there?
Just looking right now, a lot of trolls. Alice, the farmer's daughter you should care, as slaughterhouses are inhumane.
Absolutely, there's no right way to do the wrong thing. Exactly, Alice. 100% agree. Doesn't matter, even if the animals went in there and were tickled to sleep, it would still be unethical and immoral. These animals don't want to die. Subscribe 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're a kind person. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan and you believe that animals can be bullied and violated in any which way you see fit. Please make sure you double tap the stream to like it, and make sure you've shared it on other socials. Get them comments coming in. We'll answer as many comments as we can while we're here trying to show you the truth. Remember, the industry are the ones that have to lie to you. The industry pay for millions and millions and millions of dollars to keep the indoctrination real. Why do you think you keep seeing all the advertising you do? Imagine seeing advertising really truthfully for what it is. For example, piglets at 6 months old are sent to CO2 gas chambers to be gassed before they're killed and turned into bacon sandwiches. Imagine the next time you went and I'll get a bacon sandwich or some sausages, you went and saw the reality of what actually happened to them animals, rather than the pictures of the fake farmers having fun, stroking the animals' noses in the fields, in the sunshine and the grass. They show you their images and they show you that indoctrination to make you not critically think about what's actually happened to the animals, and so you start to continue to believe things like the RSPCA assured scheme, like you continue to believe all the other nonsense.
The one who was on his phone's coming out now.
This guy was on his phone a minute ago filming as he was driving in, which is obviously illegal. You can't be on a mobile phone, so he'll be reported to the police later. We have all the information and the details. We need to report him to the police.
Shameful.
Absolutely disgusting.
He's obviously potentially unhinged.
Absolutely
so
disgusting. How does it make you feel? Have you no empathy for these animals? Do you think that you can take the law into your own hands and break the law whilst you're driving? Again, silence. Silence, silence, silence from any animal farmers. Silence, silence, silence. Because if they give you any information, if they speak, then they literally put the rope around their own neck. Because even if they came out and they were just transparent, the consumer would never support this industry if they had an ounce of compassion or if they had an ounce of empathy.
Munch or waffle, but everyone dies eventually. It makes no difference if they die.
Imagine if we did that to you. Imagine if we just came and executed you and your family and then said, look, everyone dies eventually.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I'm sorry, but we really like the taste of you and your family's body, so I'm just going to bolt gun you in the face, hang you up by your feet and slash your throat open, chop you up and put you into a burger. And in fact, what we'll do is we'll do that and then we'll laugh and mock you at the same time, because that's what happens to the animals.
Jazzy Joyce keeps putting your tattoos are made from animals.
No, they're
Thank
not.
you for bringing up the point that veganism is not a diet, by the way.
No, all my tattoos are vegan. I get tattooed by a vegan activist, actually, who has his own vegan tattoo studio. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you are not vegan, but you're listening to what we're saying and you're here with an open mind and an open heart. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. If you think that animals are here for you to exploit and do whatever you want, please double tap the live stream and make sure you hit the bell notification. And if you can, hit the share. Share it to as many socials as possible. Remember, we're here today not to clash. We're here today to literally educate and show you the reality and the truth. Why do you think we have to drive 6-7 hours to get to these places? Why do you think that they're in the middle of nowhere, most of them? Why do you think that they have spiked fences all the way around with the CCTV and the cattle grids and all the secrecy? Why are these places so hard to get to? Because they don't want general public seeing them. Subscribe and 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person. Subscribe and 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the stream. Why do these animals come to these places majority of the time overnight or early in the morning? Because the industry don't even want the consumer to see animals driving on the roads. Because when the consumers see pig trucks, chicken trucks, cow trucks, they know where them animals are going and they connect. And for every person that connects, it's money out of their pocket.
Lego C8V put, I love a nice glass of chocolate milk.
Good, then go get the Alpro chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And if you get the Alpro chocolate milk with 50 grams of protein, you can get all your nutrients, you can get your protein, and no babies were taken away from mothers. You didn't separate any families, and you didn't send any individuals to a slaughterhouse to be executed. That's all veganism is. Subscribe and 1 if you've already done that. Subscribe and chat 2 if you're not vegan but you're a kind person. Subscribe and chat 3 if you're an anti-vegan. Double tap the stream. We're here today with collaboration with Animal Aid, so please make sure.
Potentially another truck.
Is that a truck or is that a
It's a tractor and I can't see what's
trailer?
behind. Nah, tractor,
No,
it's just going along.
no. Please go click the link in the description.
Right, it's honestly, people don't understand how much it smells here. It gets in your throat and you cannot breathe. It's
Blimey.
disgusting. It's the heavy, metallic, metally smell of the hot blood and fear.
Yeah. Can you imagine how the cows must feel? Cows could smell up to 5 miles, by the way. This is why their trucks are full of wee and poo, because they're defecating themselves as they come around the corner because they're in so much fear of what's going to happen. Imagine being taken into a strange building and then left with your family and friends and then start to see them getting lower and lower, the numbers getting less and less and less, start hearing more and more screams, sitting more and more blood as you get forced forward into the kill floor until you see the man in an apron and a sharp knife and you see dead bodies hanging up all around you. Imagine how petrified you would be. We're going to swap it in with Mel.
Yeah, let me switch over really quick. Guys, please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are here not to rage bait. We're here not to hate on you guys. We're here purely to defend the animals who are inside a slaughterhouse behind me right now being stabbed in the throat. How many likes do we have in here right now?
130 right now.
Let's get to 150 likes. Remember, I was going to tell you something that the industry don't want you to know. Get to 150 likes and I'll tell you that. Guys, I'm at a slaughterhouse today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Please go to the link in the description and see the investigations that they have done on these industries of hell. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream. Keep liking. When it gets to 150 likes, I'm going to be telling you something that you may not have ever heard before. The industries pride themselves on secrecy. That's what happens. They drive these animals. Most of them are driven with it in the darkness. They're taken to these evil places and every single cow in the dairy industry gets stabbed in the throat. Every single cow in the beef industry gets stabbed in the throat. Every single chicken gets stabbed in the throat. Every single turkey stabbed in the throat. Every single animal that is farmed, cows, sheep, chickens, turkeys, lambs, fish, they all get stabbed, okay? It's That's standard practice. What an industry. Do you want to support an industry that's like that? Or do you want to just be vegan and not pay for anyone to hurt animals at all? Subscribe at the top and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Shame on you. Shame on you!
Roblox King is back and said, are your clothes vegan?
Absolutely, of course I'm vegan, which means I don't pay for any animals to be exploited. Now are you vegan? What's stopping you from being vegan? Okay, it's easy to point fingers at other people and be like, oh, are the vegans wearing vegan stuff? Of course they are, we're flipping vegans. Okay, you just check the labels on your tops. Oh, make sure it's not made of any other products that are used on animals, tests on animals, or commodified by animals in any which way. It's super easy to be vegan. Nothing really changes for you, but everything changes for the animals. This is a life and death live stream. My shoes are vegan, by the way, Skechers. They literally label things vegan. It's so easy. Everyone says, oh, do you think you're going to change anything? Absolutely. You can see the change happening. When I was younger, I didn't know what a milk plant was. When I was younger, I didn't know what oat milk was. I never heard it in my life. Shame on you, coming out of somewhere that does this to animals is disgusting. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share, comment. How many likes have we got?
134.
134, let's get to 150 and I'll be telling you something that you've never heard before. Subscribe and you could win something today. Subscribe to win your morals. The morals that you have been indoctrinated, you've been brainwashed, you've been conditioned if you are not vegan. The industry has mugged you off. They have mugged you off, they've lied to you, and you've fallen for it, and so did I. And that's disgusting. We should at least have the right to know what is happening.
No.
Because right now, you're giving a bias. You're giving their bias. Words and languages like humane, organic, free range. It's all the same thing. It doesn't change because there's a word in front of what happens. It doesn't change because the individual is not a human. It's the same action put onto somebody else who doesn't want to have that action put onto them. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe at the top. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Like, comment and share. I'm at Slaughterhouse right now today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Go and look in the description at the investigations that they have done.
You look at me funny, thinks that plants have feelings too.
Okay, no, plants do not have feelings. The fact that you're on here saying plants have feelings shows the stupidity level that you have. Maybe your brain has just shut down because you feel guilt and you're just spouting out nonsense. But if you're comparing yourself with a plant, you're comparing an animal with a plant, you are ridiculous. Okay? Animals are no different to us, they just look different to us. It's a form of racism if you're not vegan. It's speciesism. Viewing someone else different from you purely because of the way they look. They had no choice of what body they were born into, just like you didn't have a choice. You shouldn't be oppressed, they shouldn't be oppressed. No one with a central nervous system and a brain who can feel pain and experience life should be oppressed ever. Plants don't have that. They don't have a central nervous system and a brain, they cannot feel pain. We need plants to survive. And if you care about plant deaths, if you actually think plants are alive and they do feel pain, then you should be vegan by default because vegans eat the least amount of plants. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, comment and share.
Where are we? Who are we here with today? And where can people go if they want to go vegan?
I'm here at a slaughterhouse. I've witnessed individuals going inside this evil place today that I'm going to show you in a minute on my camera that I caught today. I stroked the nose of someone who's about to be stabbed in the throat in there, who could potentially be stabbed right now. They're killing in there, inside that place. I'm here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Go look in the link in the description and see their investigations. Go and have a look at the support for help going vegan. When you know why you go vegan, the how is really easy. You got to know why. So go watch Dominion on YouTube. Go and subscribe to Joey Carbstrong, who's going to release a massive investigation any day now.
What do you say to people who say animals are here to be eaten? That's what they're here for.
I think you have a superiority complex, and that's the reason why any wars have happened. That's the reason why Holocausts have happened. That's the reason why we had human slaves. That's the reason why women didn't have rights, because someone thought they were better than someone else. That's the root of all evil. What about if we taught everyone that we're equals and we shouldn't be hurting chickens or little babies, or we shouldn't be hurting humans or cows or lambs? Wouldn't that be a nicer world? That's the world that vegans are fighting for, peace. That's all we're fighting for. Because right now, if you're not vegan, the consequence of your actions, the animals are going to slaughterhouses because of you every single day, and you can change that today. Subscribe at the top and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream. How many likes we got in here right now?
We got 137.
137 likes. Let's get to 150 likes as soon as possible. The likes help, guys. The likes help get this message out to more people. So if you're a number 2 who's just come onto this live stream, please double tap the stream, like and share and comment and ask questions, because many people are number 2s who don't know the industry. And when you know the industry, you cannot believe what happens, and you cannot believe that they mugged you up and lied to you to make you pay their wage to do this to animals. Everyone is against what happens to animals inside these places. It's just some people are brave enough to look, and some people want to stay willfully ignorant.
Bride B13, thank you for your comment. They said you are talking about slaughterhouses, but you're not talking about if killing chickens is murder. What about the non-direct bit of eggs and cheese and milk? You aren't killing animals for that.
Okay, that's what I was going to bring up when I got to 150 subs, but 150 likes. But I'll bring it up now because you've asked that question. Yeah, veganism is against the use and exploitation of animals. Eggs are not a byproduct, it's an industry. Cow's milk is not a byproduct, it's an industry. Cows don't just produce milk because they are cows. They produce milk because they've been forcibly impregnated and they have babies taken away from them. Their baby is taken away because they cannot produce the boys cannot produce milk. Let me explain more in a moment. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, keep liking, sharing and commenting. So if the cows give birth to a male, they don't produce milk. The class is a waste product. They're taken away from the mother. So are the females, by the way. But something else happens to those females. If they leave the cows, the babies with the cows, they cannot take the milk and steal it from her and then sell it to you. So it's a direct industry. In fact, the egg industry and the dairy industry are the most abusive industries on the planet because they're abused whilst they're alive for longer. They have babies taken away from them over and over and over again. Male chicks in the egg industry are classed as a waste products. They get put into a macerator, a blender, alive on day 1. Day 1 of life, the cute little male chicks who didn't do anything wrong, just born into a body and they're male. A blender for them or a gas chamber, or they suffocate to death in bags. The females then get sent to big barns, massive barns that you think you don't even know what free range means. These crammed barns with 15 to 30,000 chickens in one barn have been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. Let me explain more in a second. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, comment and share. What happened to those egg-laying hens? They're different breeds to the meat chickens that you would eat. They've been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. Naturally, they should only lay 12.
Noah Movie Clips put, the animals didn't do anything. I eat meat sometimes, but animal violence sucks. Let's work together to stop the animal violence.
Exactly, and that's when we go vegan on the spot. You should be vegan on the spot because if you're not vegan, you pay for animal violence. You pay for the rights of their life to be taken away from them. There is no right way to kill someone who doesn't want to die, even if you believe in free range and humane, whatever. Even if you believe those words, there's no right way to kill you if you don't want to die. Even if I patted you on the head to sleep, it's still wrong.
Who are we here with collaborating today?
Yeah, I'm here at Slaughterhouse in collaboration today with Animal Aid, who have done investigations on these industries. They've been inside this place in particular as well. Go and have a look at their investigations in the link in the top right-hand corner of this live stream. I'm here and I've witnessed cows from the beef industry and the dairy industry go inside here. About 5 small holding trailers have come in, haven't they, Stephen? Two massive ones. Is there any in there right now?
No.
None in there right now, so
we're
they
waiting
might
for
be
the
coming
next
any
ones.
minute. Any minute, animals will be coming here.
Roblox is saying, what happens to the animals after they've been killed? Maybe explain the supply and demand.
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason this happens is because people demand their animal flesh, their cow's milk, eggs, leather, wool, and things like that. So when you're paying with your money, you're effectively voting for these places to exist. So what happens is these cows will be cut up into pieces, stored on refrigeration trucks. They'll be going to supermarkets, or their skins and other bones and things will be going to rendering companies to make things like glues, dog foods and stuff like that as well. They all get taken into something. In fact, even cow's milk, right? Cow's milk is powdered down into a powder, and they put them in things like paracetamol because people are addicted to cow's milk because we're mammals, just like they are. Another small holding truck. Shameful. Dairy cow on here. I'm sorry, lovely. Hey, beautiful. Hi. I'm so sorry. We love you, and we're not like these people. We love you. I'm so sorry about what you're about to face. I'm so sorry about what you're about to face.
Is she in there on her own?
I'm so sorry. I think there's 2.
2.
the whole family in there taking the animals to slaughter.
Fuck animal farmers.
Evil, they're evil scum. Animal farmers is what's wrong with the world. They're scumbags. They should be put in prison for what you do. You should be in prison for what you do. It's the most beautiful, childlike beings on the planet. Animal farmers should be put in prison. I'll stand by that for the rest of my life. Slaughterhouse workers should be put in prison. I'll stand by that for the rest of my life. For what they do to animals is unforgivable. It's an unforgivable act of violence and betrayal. They mug you off, they lie to you, and then they send these animals who they pretend to love to you to a slaughterhouse to be killed. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and subscribe.